Good afternoon, members of Parliament. Welcome back to this Central Committee meeting. This public meeting. We had in this public meeting where we already went through agenda point 1, which was the incoming documents, and agenda point 3, which we handled, was the ratification decision list of the Interparliamentary Kingdom Consultation. And now we've adjourned agenda point 2, and with that, I would like to now turn the floor. It will be adjourned to allow the Minister of Finance the opportunity to answer some questions posed in the first round. And with that then said, I would like to now turn the floor over to Minister Arian for your answers. Minister Arian.
Thank you, MP. Good afternoon to the honorable members of Parliament again. I'll first start off with the questions and the answers posed by MP Rolando Bryson. His answer in regards to a two-part question. Exemption room tax. It is required that a rental or accommodation agreement is concluded with an international organization and that the accommodation price is paid by the international organization. Representative of the international organization will be issued a special ID card by the Ministry of General Affairs, and with this card they can identify themselves as an official of the respective international organization, so that the hotel can verify that they are indeed entitled to that exemption. Transfer tax. The answer here is the amendment on the transfer tax stems from Article 32 and 60 of the Vienna Convention on consular relations pertaining to consuls and preclearance officers. In regards to the officials of the international organization, the amendment stems from Article 3, Section 9, Subsection A of the Convention of Privileges and Immunities of the Specialized Agencies. Now move on to MP Christophe Emmanuel. All 4 countries within the Kingdom are asked if they have the intention of becoming party to new treaties. Only when a relevant local ministry indicates this will the treaty process commence. However, all treaties that the former Netherlands Antilles were party to are automatically applicable to Sint Maarten, including the Vienna Convention and the UN General Convention and Convention for Specialized Agencies, which he asks also which convention supersedes local laws. Treaties and conventions supersede local laws. However, local laws should be in line with international law. So if Sint Maarten is a party or will become party to international treaties and conventions, then local laws must be in line with these legal obligations. Are we signatories to conventions outside of the Netherlands? Yes. In regards to his other question regarding KLM and unions and ILO and so forth, the answer, my presentation was not geared towards the International Labour Organization, ILO, or any of the ILO conventions. For today's discussion, it would be hard to get into detail on international labor laws, not only because it's not part of my presentation, but also taking into account that international labor laws do not fall directly under my ministry. Therefore, I'd like to encourage MP Emmanuel to address his questions in writing on international labor law matters to the appropriate ministers. In regards to MP George Pantofet, active discussions to restore the 12.5% and the vacation allowance are ongoing. And last answer for MP George Pantofet, Sint Maarten has its own process in place. If we do find it necessary to seek international support, we will do so. That'll be all, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Minister Arian, for your answers. Members of Parliament, you just heard the answers from Minister Arian. Is there any member of Parliament that wishes to have the floor for clarification in this round? I see that okay, I see no need for that. Then we go over members of Parliament, then to the second round. And in the second round, I remind everyone that we have 10 minutes to speak per round. And the first person, or per member, the first person on the speakers list is MP Rolando Bryson.
Thank you, Madam Chair Lady. Good afternoon to you and my colleagues, the Minister, and those viewing once again. Madam Chair, I was very satisfied with the answers received. I think it provides clarity for both the hotel sector that had that concern. It's very clear. There will be an easy manner to identify a person that is going to be benefiting from that hotel tax. Also, Airbnb holders, property holders can rest assured that there will be a very simple mechanism in place for them to identify who should be privileged to that. So I think that clarity is very good for the public, and I will certainly pass that information on, as well as to the notaries who also had some questions about the need for compliance in terms of the transfer tax that is withheld by the notaries and then given to the government, that this also has a legal status internationally. But, Madam Chair, I was very interested to see how the minister would address the questions related to international labor organization and how that ties into the discussion here today. Madam Chair, look, I think sometimes, when you're talking about international law, it's okay, it's a kind of a gray area or a borderline as to whether a question fits into the discussion. But I think equally important then maybe for me to ask a couple of yes or no questions to the minister to put things in its perspective. Because, Madam Chair, I would like to ask through you, does passing this law means that the government should not follow ILO conventions? Does this exclude or affect that in any way? Does this passing this law, so us voting for this law, prevent the government from complying with ILO? Does one have to do with the other? Does one prevent us from doing the other? Because if in the one breath we say, we recognize the need to comply with international laws, but I don't like the way we're not complying with others, so I'm voting against this, to me that doesn't make any sense. That's not the way we should be operating in Parliament. Or whataboutism of, well, I don't like how you handling this international law, so I ain't going to support you on this international law. You're not hurting the government. You're not hurting our faction or the coalition, nobody. You're simply, to me, not doing your proper due diligence as to Sint Maarten's need to comply with international laws. If your sole reason to not vote for this is, well, me like how you handling other laws. Madam Chair, to the minister, probably as a put on his former MP hat, does voting for this law prevent a member of Parliament from having sufficient needs, as suggested by the Minister of Finance, to pose the questions to the government and say, listen, I have concerns about certain matters related to ILO compliance. Does it prevent a member of Parliament from doing that? No, it doesn't. So I think we need to compartmentalize certain things if we want to vote against everybody in here to vote their conscience. I just think using whether the government is completely complying with another law or the other, and that's why me supporting it, I think that's a bit of a concern, and I hope that is not something that it will become a trend in this Parliament. We have to understand what is in front of us. Are those issues brought up by the Member of Parliament concerning? Yeah, of course, it's something that we should definitely refer to, and I will suggest, for example, to the Member of Parliament or any member that has that concern, we have the committee of VSA, which handles labor issues. I would be happy to, discuss with the chair lady and the griffier of organizing a meeting to discuss those issues. The matter at hand today is these international laws. I think that the minister has sufficiently explained the need for it. The couple of questions I had have been addressed. Those are some technical issues that now the public knows this is how we're going to implement it. And I think this piece of legislation should have the support of Parliament, and I encourage others to do so. For those that feel they don't need to vote for it or will vote against it because they don't like how another law is handled, you're not punishing the government, you're punishing the people of Sint Maarten. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, MP Bryson. Next on the speakers list, we have MP Christophe Emmanuel, but MP Emmanuel is not present, so then I will move over to the next speaker on the list, which is MP George Pantaflet. No need? Okay. With that then, I would like to then turn the floor over to the Minister, Minister Arian, if you're able to respond, Minister Arian, immediately or? Yes?
Yes, immediately. In regards to MP Bryson's question, no, it does not prevent us from complying with other laws.
Thank you, Minister. But then it appears then we have come to the end of the deliberation for this agenda point. And according to Article 57 of the Rules of Order, we now go over to the voting of the draft national ordinance amending the tax ordinance, the wage tax ordinance, the income tax ordinance, the wage tax ordinance, the profit tax ordinance, the room tax ordinance, the car rental ordinance, the motor vehicle ordinance, and the transfer tax ordinance in connection with the establishment of an office of the World Bank in Sint Maarten. We will vote on Articles 1 to 8. We will vote on the title. We will vote on the consideration. We will vote on the draft in its entirety. Does any member of Parliament wish to have hoofdelijke stemming? If that is not the case, then this draft law has been accepted unanimously. According to Article 88, subsection 1 of the Constitution of Sint Maarten, Parliament shall notify the government that Parliament has approved this draft law in its public meeting of today, Monday, 16, 2022. I would like to thank the Minister and his support staff for their presence here today and providing the necessary information. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of this public meeting. Thank you for your presence. Thank you for your participation. This meeting is now closed.